Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. As always, I'm so happy to be with you. And thank you to all of you who reached out to say that hello is okay to keep saying because I don't know if I know how to start this podcast any other way. So, anyway, let's dive into today's episode, which is about your ascension path or the promotions that you will get inside of your business as you grow it. And before we do that, though, I want to say thank you to the person who left this really lovely comment on the Staging Sip survey, which is open for you if you have not completed this. You can absolutely still do it. We'll put it in the show notes for you, but it helps me create topics and content for us here on the podcast. So if you want to help craft what's future content on the podcast, that's where you're going to help do it. So we'll put that link in the show notes. But this lovely person wrote, "Loved in all caps your recent podcast about strategically growing and not going beyond capacity. So incredibly helpful. And I appreciate you being candid about the numbers." Now, this episode was episode 58 on April 13th of 2024. So if you're listening well beyond this, that's where you can go find this episode. And I just want to say I am so happy that this has been helpful because it's one of the episodes that I'm very, very proud of because I was able to take a very complicated business problem that we all confront as staging business owners and really break it down in its simplest essence. So how do you determine capacity of your team, your inventory, and your finances? I have a really simple brain, and so I need to make things as simple as possible for myself. And I think I was actually able to do a pretty good job of keeping it simple for you there as well. So if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen. It's a really, really good one. And I want to continue to grow our Staging Sips community as well as bolster our staging community. So I'm going to put that out there again that this week, if you are listening to this episode and you are also a person who scrolls out on social media and you come across a staging business owner's post, give it a heart. Tell them they're doing a great job. Put something in the comments, even if it's emojis, because it helps us all when we support each other and we grow this community. It helps that business owner get in front of their ideal clients, and givers gain. You will get that back in return. You can also rate the podcast. You can review the podcast. That helps us get in front of other staging business owners. So let's just keep the momentum going. And I so appreciate everyone who is doing this. It's phenomenal. I also want to let you know before we roll into today's topic that we have a new fun freebie for you inside the digital swag bag. It is 20 calls to action better than sign up for our newsletter. And this can be used on your website. It can be used in social media. It can help you grow your business. It can help you grow the email list that you get to keep in touch with. It will help you grow the social media following, all of that good stuff. So that is inside the digital swag bag. If you don't own that, go down to the show notes. We have the link there. It's rethinkhominteriors.com/swag. But go check that out. It's a great new resource and has lots of ideas for lead magnets and all of that for you in there. So, all right, let's dive into today's episode. So this is really about the promotions that you get inside of your business. And this topic came to me through my work with one of my private coaching clients. And I actually have 3 spots left for September of 2024. I will let you know at the end of the episode how you can apply to be one of those private students for September that the slots are opening up for. But let's dive into why this business owner came to me for private coaching and what the circumstance was and how I taught her about the promotions that you get in your business and how it helped her. So first of all, she's in the accelerate phase of her business, and she came to me feeling extremely exhausted and burned out and super resentful of her business. I don't know about you, but when I went through Accelerate, I felt the exact same way. So that was one of the first things I wanted to convey to her, is that this is like the tough mudder phase of your business, because you finally got the momentum rolling And once you get the momentum rolling in your business and you have a robust business where you are booking consistently and then you start to grow team, it's one of the heaviest, hardest periods of your business. So if you are there and you are feeling that, it is completely normal. And for those of you in growth, I just want you to gear yourselves up so that you can be ready for what is about to head your way when you get your marketing dialed in nice and tight. It can lead to lots of challenges. And that's really why I started the Staging Business School with the Accelerate track, because this for me was the most challenging, and I felt the least supported through the resources that were out there. So that's why, for any of you who are wondering about why I started there, that's why I started there. So anyway, she was feeling deeply burnt out. And the first thing that we do when we come together for private coaching is we go through a deep dive exercise where we can begin to look at what you are experiencing versus what you want to experience out of your business and your personal life. Because as we all know, these businesses can impact our personal lives, and there's a lot of bleed between the two of those. So the first thing we do is really dive into that. And what we learned in that particular exercise for this business owner was that there was a lot of disconnect between what she wanted to be doing for her business, for her family, for herself. And let's put herself first, by the way, for herself, for her family, for her business. We uncovered a ton of disconnect. But the biggest thing was her feeling comfortable stepping out of one role to assume the next and understanding what that meant and what that was. And one of the things that I reviewed with her in our early sessions together was something I realized I hadn't shared in quite this way here on the podcast. Certainly episodes 2, 3, and 4 give you a really good overview of what happens at each stage of business: growth, accelerate, or leverage. But what I really didn't do was make it extraordinarily clear that there are 4 key roles that you are in as you ascend through your business. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. And those 4 roles are the technician or operator of the business. And I'm going to define each of these in a minute for you, but I want to give you the overview first. So that's the first. Then there's a manager, then there's leader, and then there's owner. So let's dive into what those are and what they mean for you as the business owner. So the first role that you are in is the technician or the operator. So this is essentially a job description. So you're filling a job description inside of your business. You always are, but you're filling, if we think about the hierarchy of a business, we're filling that lowest level first tier employee in the beginning of the business, AKA that's your stager, that's your bookkeeper, that's your admin, that's, if you're in construction, it's the carpenter, the person swinging the hammer, as it were, right? So in the growth phase of your business, you are serving as the stager, and you're also likely staging as the marketing person. Marketing probably more than stager in the beginning, but regardless, you're filling that first tier employee level. And that's a really important thing to be doing. That's because you are learning how you like to do things, what your process is. You're learning what are the client concerns, what are the ways you need to educate the client. You are learning how to talk to your client, how to talk about your service, how to keep in touch with them, how to be interesting and share various marketing messages. This is all very, very important. But there comes a point in your business that when you have done that enough, you may find that you absolutely love doing that, and we'll talk about that in a minute, or you may find that you want to graduate. You want to get a promotion in your business, right? So the next promotion is manager, and this is when you start hiring people into your business. So when you start hiring people into your business to help you, one of the inadvertent roles that you can land yourself in is manager. So this business owner that came to me for private coaching was occupying the seat of technician, in that she was the lead stager in her business. She's the social media person. She's the administrative assistant. She's the operations person, handling all of the logistics. Did I say marketing? I think I did. The admin fielding all of the phone calls and responding to them for all of them. And as you can imagine, when you fill those roles for a business that has grown a consistent book of business, you are doing work on evenings, on weekends, all the time. This person has a family of kids who are active and involved in things. She's involved in her church. She has a marriage that she wants to love and nurture and all of that. So she was being pulled away because she was sitting in that technician operator, but she was also sitting in the manager role, because she has a team. She's got a moving person. She has other stagers in her business. So she was occupying those two spots. And what we want to do, and where the work we are doing with her, is we are beginning to take her out of the technician and operator role one at a time, because one of the things that we discussed was, once you start delegating and you have competent, amazing team members begin to take things off of your plate, you want to go immediately do it again. And so what we're doing right now is working through, let's get plates spinning and rolling, because each new person that comes into your business, you're going to be their manager for a period of time while they get up and running. So what does that manager role look like? So that manager role is that you're responsible for setting a plan, you're responsible for communicating it, and you're responsible for project managing it. So that's a lot right there in and of itself. And so when you find yourself straddling being the technician in a lot of areas, and then you are the manager, that can lead to so much burnout for yourself. So what we are doing in that regard with this private client right now is we are talking about who we can train up, essentially. Who on our team right now can be trained up to take over lead stager position? Who can we train up on her team to be operations? Those are the two key things that we need to get her out of ASAP, because they consume the most amount of time. In addition, as they are consuming the most amount of time, it's also creating chaos among her team, because she is so unavailable because of being stretched so much that she just puts out fires, but inadvertently putting out fires is creating confusion and chaos on her team. So we have talked about that's what we are working on with her right now, is how can we train up the next person to help fill the technician roles that she is finding herself in. Because ultimately what we want to do is take one of those people that's trained up to take her technician role to actually become trained up to be her next manager. So I've talked about this in previous podcasts, that my lead stager, Lisa, is now our staging team manager. She oversees what the team is doing. She makes sure that they have what they need in terms of training, resources, meetings, all of that. She fulfills that role because she was trained up to become lead stager, and then she became trained up to be the manager of that team. So I don't have to handle any of that stuff. Which means I can come here and hang out with you guys, which is super fun. And then what happens is once you move yourself from technician / operator to manager, then you can get into the role of leader. And that's where we're, again, working on this business owner getting to, is leader, setting the vision, rallying the troops, looking for new opportunities, cultivating relationships with clients and referral partners. That is the kind of, this business owner is like me. That's what I love doing. I love being the one who is like, this is the vision I see for us. This is where we're headed. These are the resources. Let's go. All right. Let's do it. I don't have to handle lots of issues with the day-to-day logistics of how and when people are scheduled and on the calendar, and go look for the training resources and opportunities. That is all handled by Lisa and actually Catherine in our office, who does all of the operations. So I don't worry about a thing there. I am simply in charge of setting vision and rallying the troops. And then eventually you can even replace yourself there and become the owner, where you're not into the day-to-day operations at all. And I have to say, I am partly there in that when Catherine goes on vacation, if I need to step in and do her job, I don't know how to do a lot of it. And that's where we actually need to replicate Catherine. And we're at that point in our business where we need backup to our frontline team, so that I don't ever have to step in ever. That I can walk into our business and not have to know a thing, because there are people who have it covered. So right now I sit in the role of leader with our team. I'm not even at owner yet, just so that you have a clear sense of that. So anyway, so that is kind of the overview of the promotions that you will get inside of your business. And I hope this helps give you clarity around where you are and where you're sitting, because when you have that clarity, one of the things that we've been saying with this private client is, she says, I keep asking myself, are these CEO level tasks? Am I doing CEO level work right now? Is there someone on my team who is equipped to handle this, or can be equipped to handle this if I train them and I train them up to this, right? So I think that has given this particular business owner lots and lots of clarity about where she's sitting and where we're trying to extricate her from, so that she, when her brain wants to go back to do, because that's what happens as you go through these promotions. And of course, I'm all about helping you with your mindset. One of the other things we're creating for her is, what are those CEO level tasks that she wants to take on for herself? And that way, when she has free time, which when you start training your team, you get more white space in your calendar. Where can she go and use that time? Because what happens is our brains want to go back, and maybe we want to go organize the warehouse, or we want to delve into the calendar and make sure that it's accurate. Like, we want to go back to the things that we have known and that we have been doing for so long. And we really need a pot or a menu of items that we can pull from to say, oh, okay, I have free time. I can go work on this pet project, and what are the steps of that, and how can I get myself into that? So it's a really exciting place to be. And I, most importantly though, want to share with you what she has shared with me after our 4 weeks of working together thus far, is that physically she feels so much better, that physically she is sleeping better. Her back pain is gone. Her neck pain is gone. She just feels more at ease. And to me, that is the best feedback that I can get from one of my students. So I'm going to leave you with that. That is your sip for the week. I hope you have a wicked amazing one. Oh, and if you want one of those spots, I'm about to leave without telling you. If you want one of those private coaching spots available for September of 2024, just so you know, there's 6 weekly sessions, regardless of your stage of business. It's a deep dive into your business needs. We do a full kind of 360. What are your needs? We go through the Fix It protocol together for your business. And again, that's in last week's episode. We create weekly action steps, or your fractions of actions on your path to becoming unstuck, whatever the cycle is that you're in, whatever the stage that you're in, whatever the circumstance you find yourself in. We do have an application. I'm showing you the red velvet hiring policy that I talk about. Gosh, I can't even remember what episode it was, but we have an application that you can fill out, and then we will have a get acquainted call to make sure that you are a really good, right fit for private coaching. And you can go fill out that application at rethinkhominteriors.com/private coaching app, application. And the investment in that is $1,500. at the time of this recording for that 6 weekly sessions. And I just want to remind you that the return on investment that you receive back lasts the lifetime of your business. Any coaching that you receive lasts you the lifetime of your business. And if it can give you the peace of mind and the clarity that it is given to this student, what is that worth? And I will leave you with that. Now that is your sip for the week. I hope you have a wicked good week, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now.